Good morning. I guess it's close to afternoon today. It's Sunday, and I just wanted to pop on and welcome you to our group, Shed the Weight with Lynn Thier. And so this group is all about shedding the weight, not only physical weight, but mental and emotional weight. And one thing that we are doing for the month of September is a intermittent fasting challenge. And I know many of you have had some questions about how long should I fast? How do I get started? Perhaps how do I break my fast? What is the best thing that I should be eating while once I want to break my fast? So there's a lot of different benefits, but for women, it can actually be quite tricky because of our hormones, okay? It's different than for men. Men, if they wanted to, could fast every day if they wanted. There's been studies and research with men. I am enjoying my coffee this morning. So there's been research done where men have fasted like for a whole year without eating anything. Someone who was, I believe it was 400 pounds, of course he lost, over 250 pounds doing this, of course, and regained health, regained his metabolic function where he was diabetic, type 2 diabetic, and is no longer diabetic, so that's great. But for women, it can be a little bit tricky. So there are some benefits, of course, to intermittent fasting. That's giving your body more time to be in a fasted state so that you're able to burn fat instead of the breakfast that you've perhaps eaten earlier in the morning. It also helps with if someone does have insulin sensitivity, if they're type 2 diabetic, it's been shown to help with this as well. It also increases cell response, so regeneration of the cells, but that's usually for longer fasts. And although there's a lot of different benefits, like giving more energy, growth hormone gets shot up a little bit more. So people think, well, if I'm fasting and not eating, I'm going to lose muscle. No, you're not. The research has shown that you will not lose muscle. And so because it's a little bit tricky with women, I just wanted to go over a few things with you before we do get started on our intermittent fasting challenge in the group. And because we're women, we are meant to have kids and bear children. And so hormonally, if we do it the wrong way, it could lead to other problems, right? So knowing this, it's just once you're aware of it, then you can make adjustments for yourself. And I mean, everybody's different, right? Our bodies are different, and you have to do what's right for you. And so for women, we want to perhaps fast for briefer periods of time. Instead of fasting for 2 or 3 days like a lot of men do, then we might keep that window shorter, especially when starting out. If you've never fasted before except for when you're sleeping and you eat first thing in the morning when you awaken, just pushing that window to make sure that you've got 12 hours of fasting in is a start. Then perhaps working your way up to 14 hours and then 16 hours. And 16-8 is very popular. So fasting for 16 hours and then having your eating window for only 8 hours. And so cars going by, I'm outside. So that we don't mess up your hormones, things to keep in mind is to keep that window between 12 to 24 hours. When I was training for the show for April, I did do a 24-hour fast, and I worked out every day. So I kept my workouts in. I didn't take working out, and there wasn't a problem. It's more mental than anything. So it's all mental. You know that your ghrelin levels are going to go up, which is your hunger hormone. So you're going to feel a little bit hungry, but if you have, some herbal tea, some water, oftentimes that hunger will go away. So that's something to keep in mind. People who should not be fasting, of course, is someone who's pregnant or breastfeeding, someone who is under chronic stress, might not be the best time to be fasting. If you struggle with your sleep, that might not be so good as well. Or if you've previously had an eating disorder, anorexia, bulimia, those eating disorders have to do with body image. So if you're starting out in your fasting for 16 hours or whatnot, this is not going to cause that, of course, if that's not something that you have been diagnosed with before. However, it could make things worse if that is a disorder that you have been diagnosed with. So as women, we just want to make sure that we're doing things the right way. Again, experiment with your own self and your own body. We're all different. And let me know what days are going to be fasting and how long you're choosing to fast, okay? It's great to be prepared, so you want to do some food preparation. And oftentimes when breaking your fast, it's great to break a fast with healthy, lean protein and vegetables, of course, lean protein, vegetables, and healthy fats. And maybe if you're going to have some starchy carbs, maybe save those for later in your eating window. So breaking your fast, you could have a green smoothie, a protein smoothie. You could have some Greek yogurt with a few berries. You could have some eggs, boiled eggs, or an omelet. Whatever you feel is good for you. Some people break their fast with just some bone broth. And that's okay too. So I'm wishing you all a great week. I'd love to have your comments below letting me know what days you're fasting, how long you're fasting for. And if you have questions, post them and I'll be sure to answer those as the weeks go on. And I'm wishing you all a great week. And I'll be posting my information as well, what I'm doing, my fasting schedule and whatnot, so that you have an idea of what I'm doing for myself and my body, which of course could be different for you. All right, wishing you a great week and bye for now.